Hello everybody and welcome to another live stream. So for today's live stream I will actually be going through the current process for the Centaur image. So I'm actually going to go through some of the things that I did. I finished a hair and I finished a tail, and I actually want to show you guys where I'm at for this. Let me just turn off the display here. Okay, so I've done a lot of work on the hair, as you can see. I've gone in and added a lot of shapes to it. Now this is still pretty basic for a couple reasons. Once I actually finish rigging this character, I actually have to essentially assign a shape to this so that I can actually move it around a bit easier. What this will allow me to do is when I pose out the character, I actually have to take into account that this is going to be printed, and because it's going to be printed in 3D, I did some very specific modeling choices. So the hair elements, they actually all flow into each other and they actually connect at the tips. The reason for that is essentially you'll allow the printer to slowly build up the volume, but it will have something connecting to it. But when I rig it, the hair will actually have to be rigged separately, most likely with a a vector line, so that I can actually form it to the body a bit more smoothly. This is going to be very important because then I can actually connect it to the body before I actually pose it, or when I start posing it out. However, we're definitely not at that stage yet, because as you can see, he is still in a standard sculpting pose. I have gone ahead and added some of the bone joints. I am used to rigging in Maya, which is a different software. So I've gone in and actually added some of the basic bone structure elements. There's still quite a bit of work that needs to get done. Essentially I'll be working on the hands today, and possibly figuring out how to actually parent these properly. I actually have to go in and also name a lot of these elements. There is supposed to be a tool that's supposed to make things a little bit easier for rigging. I personally have not used that before. So we're going to find out how that works. And hopefully it works actually very easily. Okay. Okay, so oh, that's useful. They actually have a pretty nifty features here. Okay. So I am actually used to creating a separate bone joint, and I'm actually going to continue with that just because I am actually familiar with that method. So I'm going to get out of here and then create a new armature. And I don't think I can actually just snap it into place, which is a little bit unfortunate. Okay. Okay, and because the thumb actually has a lot more movement than the rest of the bones, no, I'm gonna do it the same way, I think. Worst case, I'll just redo this. That's how you learn, so. Okay. Renaming the bone structure when you've done half of it is super important. Um, for a couple of reasons. One, it helps you keep track of the different body parts, but instead of having to rename everything, you can actually just normally replace the last digit or the last portion of the name if you do it correctly. I don't know if this requires a dot or a dash for it to be able to replace it easier, but unfortunately I won't know until I try it out, so we'll have to see. I know that it's a new feature that they added in. It was one of their improvements, so I should be able to replace the naming conventions a bit easier in Blender now. I just haven't tried it, so we'll see later on, even if we get to that portion. Okay. Oh boy, we'll see how long the computer can last, because it's really slowing down because of this model. It is a pretty high resolution model, so it's not that surprising. Hmm. It's strange because it hasn't connected the bones for some reason. They're named correctly though, from the looks of it. No, they're connected. Hmm. I have no idea why it does that. I don't know if it's even a glitch either. Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research on the side, just to find out what's going on. But this is essentially my base skeleton I currently have. I have an extra bone here because there's going to be a lot of muscle deformation that I will probably have to compensate for in the spinal cord region. So there's an extra bone there. There's one for the shoulder blade as well. The bones for the hands are actually separated. We'll see if it's actually needed in Blender. I know in Maya, in a much older version, it was actually one of the easiest ways to rig the hand. But we'll see if that's even necessary. I might actually just be able to connect it. So I'm going to be testing that out for sure. I added also an extra bone for the jaw. So that if I needed to, I might have the possibility of actually opening the mouth as well. So we'll see about that. I may have to add something for the... Well, I know I have to add some form of rigging to the hair at some point. I'm probably going to try to use a curve for that whenever possible, though. Just because of the nature of hair, it's going to probably lead better to a better result if I actually use a curve for both the hair and the tail area. So let me just turn this back on. So you won't see the rigging that I just did once I turn on the skin. But as you can see, I've done actually quite a bit of work on the side. I've refined actually the hoof areas, so those are all done. The tails, the hair. I also fixed the thumb area because I hadn't actually modeled that. I had done the rest of the hand, but I had actually forgotten the thumb, so that's actually done now. So yeah, this is actually coming along pretty good. I could technically try printing it as is, but I actually really do want to be able to actually pose out this character. And the easiest way will be to actually rig it first. I do still need to build the body armor, especially the helmet. I'm also thinking about adding cloth. All those portions are additional things I'm going to have to learn before I can actually do it, because I know I had a rough idea how to do it in Maya many years ago, but I haven't touched Maya in so long, and it's Blender, which is a different interface. So we'll see how much I retained. Like I said, it's probably going to require quite a good deal of research before I can actually do it, but we'll see how long it takes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and I hope to see you guys soon. So thank you and take care.